half of that was like harmony parts and half it was just tone deaf.
Oh no, it was all bad.
It was 100% me.
Welcome to What the Podcast, everyone. My name's Ryan.
I'm John.
And together we are
Ryan and John.
on the couch.
You acting important.
Okay.
Is this like a
That was that
sitcom intro?
Broadway calling. Olivia Tafolla. Cara
What?
Philly.
You have a different energy today, J.K.
She's
Rowling.
really bringing it today.
Call me hackety hack.
What a week it's been.
Hack.
How you doing?
Don't look back.
I've been great. I'm really wanting to know how you are because you did that juice cleanse as we talked about last week.
That's right.
For no reason.
Yeah.
That's right, for no good reason.
Okay. Everyone's attitude on the juice cleanse, I'm not going to name names, but the general consensus of the juice cleanse,
Yeah.
Say it.
like as soon as it started, like changed. Everyone was like pissed off. It's like, well, you wanted to do this juice cleanse. I was like, okay, time out.
I love how general those statements were because we were
talking about
Cara are the only one.
Yeah,
that
well, everyone involved was
It's because everyone around us
I
was
tried to be
like,
supportive. I checked in on you. It really,
You
it was
did.
Really
You
for
were
my own.
you were honestly the only positive voice in this entire thing. The first night was Wednesday night. The first night we went to my parents' house for dinner because we have like family dinner nights or whatever, and we were like, they're all cooking up burgers and stuff, and me and Cara was just sitting there like pissed, like, hi guys.
I imagine that's like
It was
torture.
it was
It
was
was the
You're like,
best
I'm
night
just
of
gonna
my
have
life.
this juice real quick. Hold
I'm
on.
just
you
gonna.
get-
I kept telling myself like, "Oh, this tastes like In-N-Out. Yum." The biggest realization, like, okay, so yeah, I lost 10 pounds, right? You're like,
No way.
of water weight, because
Okay.
literally, I think I've gained like 4 back already.
But
Like,
10 is pretty good.
But I gain and lose weight pretty easily.
Yeah, but you were saying before, well, we've talked about weight loss and stuff, and you were saying that you have water weight is like anywhere between 5 and 7, so 10 is a definite loss.
well, you were working out at the same time too.
Yeah, we're working out, you know. But I think the biggest thing that I realized is like when I get cravings, I don't like hesitate. Like I'm
Same.
so by the wayside, like, oh, if I'm hungry, I'll just go get a burger or I'll just go get a burrito. Like, and that's just not like that's sustainable.
Yeah.
But I'm just like my craving for carbs was so like real. It was gnarly.
I was going to ask you, do you think that like when you're stressed out or when you're like, you have a big
Do I
list to
compulsively
do,
eat?
Do you compulsively eat?
What's funny, no. I think when I get like working or when I like, am busy, I don't eat. I think it's the opposite. When I'm chill and I'm just like at
Kind of
home
like
or
bored
whatever,
eating a little bit.
I bored eat for sure. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, I just got to knock that off, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, growth is happening. I think
I could feel it.
off
I was like aggressively pushing through it. And then we were like making deals with ourselves. Like, okay, it says you can eat trail mix. Like, all right. So
yeah,
so we
because
didn't.
I don't remember that part in our original breakdown, and you
Okay.
clearly found that.
That's
in the
right.
pamphlet
In the
later.
pamphlet, it said it was optional,
reading it.
and we immediately wrote it off. We were
Ripping
like,
through
we're
it.
not doing
It's
the
in Sharpie.
optional. We're
Writing
gonna
down.
push through
Avocado and
this.
drill.
Yeah, in red
in
crayon.
crayon.
Yeah. Thank you.
Says.
It says we could eat one chocolate bar a day.
Where did that
told
come, man?
us.
Dave's
So-
Hot Chicken's on there.
So whatever. We ate trail mix and we had a sweet potato for dinner, and I didn't feel like it took from. I wasn't like, oh, we're cheating. Like it was
Yeah.
bad. Like it's all good. I still was starving. So
I want to hear your interpretation, Cara,
ahead,
because
Cara.
I think you had, if I could say, a different perspective on this whole
let
thing.
me front load her thing and say I loved the juice. I thought the juice
God.
tasted great.
Yeah.
I thought all the picks were like more or less I would drink them like on a regular
And if you
basis.
want to, if you're listening to this or watching this, and you want to know what the juice like was in there, you can watch Ryan's video.
Pop
put
over
the
to
link
YouTube.
in the description, and you can.
if you're
watch
listening,
that.
go to YouTube, and then when you're at YouTube, go to the link.
Because you describe all the juices, and I think that's kind
do,
of cool. But
yeah.
what did you think, Cara?
In the beginning, I thought it was going to be that bad because for one, I thought the juices were going to taste a lot better because whenever you go to like one of those juice places like Press Juicery and you just want a juice,
Jamba Juice.
Yeah.
no, not Jamba Juice. You
No, they
normally
suck at
pick out one and it's like a nice drink, like
Yeah.
it's really good. But the ones that they chose through Suja, for one, I thought it was cool because Suja it's all grown in San Diego, so I didn't know that.
Nice.
That was pretty
That's
cool. But all the ones that they chose were just like, for me, I don't know, they were just hard to finish.
Can
It's
I
just
say
like
something too?
Yeah.
I think you a little bit set yourself up for failure. And here's
did.
why. Because when we were
Yes.
talking about this last week, you were already going, do I have to finish every juice?
Well, because for one, it was 8
Correct.
juices, and I was going back to when I got my wisdom teeth taken out, and I could only have juice. I was
Yeah.
literally only drinking like 4 a day,
Yeah.
and I
think-
was full.
Well, I think the purpose of the amount of juice is because it is supposed to cleanse your system, right? I mean, you're supposed to kind of like,
So you don't.
That's why there was
right?
kind of a routine. It was like probiotic or like, ginger shot,
Probiotic.
mixed fruit and veggies,
Veggies.
like heavy veggies,
Yeah.
carrot juice,
learned-
whatever. I don't know.
I learned a lot about nutrition on this juice cleanse because I was reading like why people do it, and it doesn't
thinking about it,
actually
so.
it doesn't actually cleanse out your system like you think it does because you're like peeing a lot, and then like people think you're gonna poop it all out too
Yeah.
because it's like flushing.
Yeah.
You only pee a lot because you are literally supposed to drink like 24 ounces of water in between
with
every
it.
juice.
Oh, really?
And then I read that all of these nutrients and the fruit and veggies that are in these juices,
Yeah.
your stomach absorbs them. You don't get rid of them. It's like
Whoa.
energy. So you're not peeing
But yeah,
out
that's
the
how
juice.
your body, like, it's how,
Pure
makes
energy.
And
you
I-
less hungry, right?
I mean, the liquid part you are. It's turning
Well,
that
yeah.
into water.
But the nutrients is what's powering your body. and
Yeah.
then- whereas that it's replacing the food. Right?
Yeah, and I read. Oh, I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry, my
You're
bad.
reading about nutrients.
Pure
you're reading about
energy.
pee and poo.
Pee, poo,
That's
poo.
the last thing you said. I don't know.
Nutrients, being full.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I
Sounds
forgot
like
it.
a lot of
I forgot it.
crackpot reasoning over there to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not so
But yeah,
sure.
it's just like it's just supposed to keep you full.
Yeah.
And your body is like just getting used to it, and your stomach is like shrinking because it's like you're not having any food.
Right. I did a 30-hour fast one time, and it was like weird because at the end of it, you are not hungry at all
Yeah.
because
Mm-hmm.
your stomach kind of shrinks. So I imagine maybe that was part of the.
It
deal
is.
with
It's that
yours.
like waiting, like pushing past the hunger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then it's like, I'm fine. now.
Until you can have a little snack.
So I mean,
So I don't know. I might, I would do it again. Not
think-
like maybe not a 3-day anytime soon, but like I would drink juice for a day.
I would want to
legit-
try a different company.
Yeah.
Okay, let's all try a different company. Let's all
like
four do
I
it.
think Press Juicery is the other one.
I'm just gonna assert myself really quick. I will never do a juice cleanse.
That's fair.
What?
Thank
What?
you.
Really?
That's fair.
I'm just gonna drop that in the middle.
It's not for everybody. I will say.
Here's why. I have so many resources available to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I am under resourced. There's food everywhere. I have the money to buy food. It's not like, I have to sacrifice anything to
nobody's
get
doing
food.
it. Juice
so
cleanse
you
for the
clearly,
price,
yeah,
for the
well, you
record.
clearly
'Cause it's
don't understand
expensive.
Yeah.
the point.
But I don't need to restrict myself if I don't.
But you wouldn't
Okay.
be curious
Want to.
try it?
No, I mean, I can
okay,
imagine.
so you don't know what's
I
going
can
on
imagine
here.
what it
Is
feels
that-
like to not eat. And then I
So-
can also imagine what it feels like to drink orange juice for 24 hours.
What an absolute! Can I just say, what an absolute fool!
What did you gain? I'm sorry.
fool.
What did you gain from spending $100 on juice?
Okay, we're moving on from this segment.
What did you
We're
get?
moving on.
Wait,
Okay,
wait.
this is a later.
do
My
feel
Go ahead.
thought, my
cleansed?
thought came
It
back to
obviously
Go ahead. Okay,
wasn't
Kara's
that
thought
important.
came back.
Okay.
So this is
Did it or you trying
was something-
to?
For
No,
the
it
record,
was
this is
something
normal.
about-
This is normal conversation between you two.
That's fine.
Because
Okay, go ahead.
if you're a
This
lot of
is
audience
fine.
members are probably like I am when we first experienced this and thought you were actually fighting. You're not,
John,
Go
how do you
ahead.
how do you feel about
I
conflict?
hate him.
Ryan.
Oh my gosh.
I hate you.
Okay, Cara, what was your thought, please?
It was about digestion.
Castaways.
Go ahead.
I think
Please.
that the biggest pro that came out of this
Yeah.
for pros and cons is the biggest pro for
Ryan
me.
flipped me off.
Yeah.
Ryan
I
just
did
flipped me
not.
off.
He did.
Let
I
the
did
record
not.
show Ryan stuck his middle
Okay,
finger up at me.
Children, all
That's
right.
not what happened.
Digestion, tell us.
There's
Okay.
cameras.
It did give, I don't know about Ryan, but it did give my stomach like a really big break from like really trying to
He did it
digest
again.
food.
Okay, J.K.
No, I
Rowling
did
over there in
not.
the
Okay,
corner.
I actually didn't that time. That was the girl who cried middle finger.
Excuse you.
Because I feel like whenever I eat, I either feel like super bloated or like, just you feel your stomach like churning and like just not really feeling very good. I don't have good
That's
digestion
called, I was
anyways.
gonna say that's called you have bad digestion
Yeah,
problems.
but
that's not really.
I think
So you, in that sense, you kind of it was like a progression. For
it was
you.
like a little reset. Because
Nice.
then the next day when we ate food, I didn't have any stomach problems.
Whoa.
And that was a big thing. And
So maybe
since
this is
then I
important to
haven't.
you.
Maybe
yeah.
you just need like probiotic shots.
I started
Oh.
I went to Target and I got,
What?
you know,
I'm finding this out
do you know
for
the
the first
Ollie
time on the
brand?
podcast.
He's offended for some reason.
Do you know
the
the
heck?
Ollie brand? Like
Okay.
Ollie
Dare
vitamins.
you.
Where was
Sure.
wait? When I was interviewing you for the juice cleanse, where was all this? This all could have gone in the video.
This is post.
No, I started this yesterday.
Content envy.
Okay.
She's creating her own video,
I
right?
know. She's like
I went
gonna
to-
release her own vlog.
I did more
I'm doing
information.
a tell-all special with
know,
her. She's
for
like,
real.
what I didn't say about the juice cleanse.
So is it like kombucha? Is that like
No. Well, I mean, yes, but I don't
kombucha's
like.
rough.
I wish I liked
What?
kombucha. I wish I did.
I liked it too.
oh
but I
my
can't.
god, you guys.
So I
love
went
the
to
booch.
Target
Cheers.
We're back.
Gosh,
We're
you
back
too.
together, guys.
Besties.
Sorry, JK's
JK
popping
Rowling's
off
got
over
a
there.
real energy today.
She really does.
What can I say?
I went to
JK.
Target. I went to Target,
Go ahead,
everybody.
go
And I got probiotic and prebiotic gummy vitamins.
Uh-huh.
So I guess the probiotic is like all those good like bacteria, but then the prebiotic
Yeah.
is like fiber to help it grow.
Okay.
So I'm gonna see how that works.
I think you learned something, and I love that. He's playing us off here,
I know.
and that's okay.
It's not fair.
No, you were saying the prebiotic,
Prebiotic.
and then you got the probiotic.
Biotic.
So now I'm a symbiotic.
Okay. Well,
I looked up symbiotics too.
anyways,
That's from Spider-Man.
let's go to our sponsor for our next segment. Oh, no. Sorry. Go ahead.
Before we get carried away, people.
Before we get
If
too
we
far
haven't
away
lost
from
you
it,
listeners and
Oh
viewers
my
already,
gosh.
if you know,
thanks
you
for
know.
sticking around.
Let's not forget what this month is all about.
That's right. Happy May, everyone. It is still the last week of Asian American Pacific Islander
Where did this
Heritage
month go?
I know, it just really blew by. Tell you what. And it is now my turn to highlight a well-known, well, this one's well-known, a notable Asian American Pacific Islander person.
Woo.
And here it is, George Takei, as he's known. Are you familiar with this person?
Yeah, was he in the original Star Trek?
That he was.
Yes,
sir.
Absolutely. So, I'm going to read my notes here. He was born Hosato Takei, 1937. He's an American actor, author, and activist. He's best known for his role as Sulu, helmsman of the USS Enterprise in the television series Star Trek. He also portrayed the character in 6 Star Trek feature films and in 1 episode
Whoa.
of Star Trek Voyager.
It started as a series?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a
TV
big
Star Trek's
movie.
got a long history.
It's a lot of Star Trek, but
That's
it
so
did
cool.
start in the 60s, I think, 60s or 70s.
My dad's
as
a
a
huge
show.
Star Trek fan, by the
Big
way.
Trekkie.
Trekkie.
Whoa.
Every year, there's a tree by the front door. So next December, you'll have to note it in your
Okay.
mind.
All right.
That has full of Star Trek ornaments.
Wow.
He's a
1966.
very Star Trek guy.
1966.
So you would be floored that we're highlighting George today.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I am just going to give a brief history about him. He began his career in Hollywood in the late 1950s, providing voiceover for characters in the English dubbing of the Japanese monster film Rodan and Godzilla Raids Again. So he started as kind of this voice actor. He made his career in different episodes on television, Playhouse 90, Perry Mason, and in 1965, producer Gene Roddenberry cast Takei as the astroscience physicist Sulu in the second pilot for the original Star Trek television series. I mean, he was like there the whole time. Went on to do the movies, had a great career. But I'm going to back up a little bit as... sorry, I'm getting all my
About
notes
his
together.
activism.
Yes. No, so his early life. So he was, like I said, he was born in 1937. And in 1942, the Takei family was forced to live in a converted horse stables of Santa Anita Park before being sent to the Rower War Relocation Center. He was in an internment camp during World War II.
Whoa.
Yeah, his whole family. The internment camp was in swamplands and surrounded by barbed wire fences, and they were later transferred to the Tule Lake War Relocation Center in California.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Takei had several relatives living in Japan during World War II. Among them, he had an aunt and an infant cousin who lived in Hiroshima when they were both killed during the atomic bombing that destroyed the city.
Crazy.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
horrible.
So
What a life. Wow.
I know. Yep. So imagine like going through that, finally being released out of these internment camps and then going on to
Hollywood.
have the career. Yeah, have the career he had.
wow.
Not to mention to go back into an industry that was probably obviously, I imagine,
geared
skewed
against
towards
Asian
them,
people. I mean, well, geared against
after
minorities,
right
really.
after that time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was so charged.
He was
in the
actually,
US.
I did read this too. He was actually in an episode of The Twilight Zone, and he plays this character, and it's kind of the whole episode is geared towards that like racism in America towards Japanese people during World War II and after World War II. And they actually pulled it from TV because it was so
Controversial
at the
Wow.
time.
Wow.
And it wasn't ever seen until the 1990s when it was like
They added it back.
yeah, like
Wow.
never before seen footage.
Wow.
Dude.
If that's not enough,
Right.
Takei is a proponent for LGBT rights as he came out in 2005.
Yes.
He's won several awards, accolades in his work for human rights and Japan-United States relations, including his work with the Japanese National Museum. He was a part of the 2012 Broadway show Allegiance, as well as his own internment in. Let me back up. Takei's work in the 2012 Broadway show Allegiance, as well as his own internment in the 2 U.S.-run internment camps during World War II, has given him a platform to speak out against the stance on illegal immigration that has
Crazy.
been lingering as of late in the past White House
So is
administration.
he's almost 90 now.
Yeah.
Wow.
1937, yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Pushing 90. Yeah,
Wow.
came out in 2005 as a Arnold Schwarzenegger was kind of he did the veto on legalizing gay marriage here in California. He came out and has been like a big outspoken proponent. He said it was like not so much a coming out story as like a long road, like I'm at the what did he say? It was something like that, like this long road that he's been on. He's like, yeah, when he came out, he said he'd been in a relationship for 18 years by that point. So
Wow.
it's crazy.
Just an incredible life. Like,
Yeah.
it's
so
just
many sections.
so
too.
hard.
yeah, there's just so many
Hard
phases
life.
of his life that it's like to have so much, so many experiences and then
Like
to
so
move
much
on
adversity in so many different
capacities,
like, facets,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
and to still be where he is
And I
today.
think to still be optimistic, right?
Yeah.
Because he literally grew up in a time where the way he looked was kind of, everyone was afraid of
Yeah.
his culture, right? And then, got over that right into the next phase, and then it was like the way he loved. Was against
Right.
culture, and it was
Right.
like and all those major core value things. Where it's like
Yeah.
the way we look, the way we love. It's like he kind of faced adversity everywhere,
and he made his way like to the spotlight. Like he was like a part of one of the biggest television series of all time, movies and just like pop culture and
Just a major figure in the industry.
and then to be like, oh yeah, not only did I face against the odds as an Asian person, like I'm also gay.
When
Like,
did
Here I
Star
am.
Trek come out? Was it the
1966.
66? Like, think about now how much Asian representation there is in film and movies. Not a lot.
Yeah.
In the 60s, for him to be on this major show,
Right.
Yeah.
how empowering that was back then.
Oh my
to
God.
at least see one person.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
I think it's incredible too because we talk about it on the show all the time. Like history is so growing up maybe in school, it seems like history is so in the past. But the fact that everything he experienced is still so relevant to today is just it's just incredible. It's crazy to think about the life he's lived, and he's only a couple generations before us, and these issues are still facing people our age now.
Yeah.
With the hate crimes and everything that's been going on. It's his life is inspiring.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So what
Everything he
definitely
stands
was
for.
an easy choice for me. Picked that
Yeah.
one and
George Takei.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
With part of his story, do you remember learning about the Japanese internment camps?
Oh my gosh. Recently. Not recently, but
Oh yeah.
in high school?
in high school.
Yeah.
Being oh yeah, that not knowing that was
Oh
a
my
thing.
gosh.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think there's just a lot about our education,
Yep.
especially because you guys went to private primarily, right? But we went to public, and I think learning what we learn about U.S. history is just so skewed.
Yeah.
In school, and so I even like kind of question what I learned in school about internment camps, because I'm sure it wasn't even like, I'm sure it was the tip of the iceberg.
Well, it's the same thing. You know, you learn about like the Trail of Tears and like you know, American settlers like interacting with Native Americans, and it's like, I
know
the parts that you hear obviously
because it goes from
like
in elementary
and,
school, it's like, oh, that's good stuff,
well,
America, and then in high school, it's like a lot of bad stuff
and then,
happened.
Actually, none of it was
the more
good.
the more you study, the
and
more
I feel like they're not. Again, I think in the school system, they're not representing a lot of these time periods very well. But I mean, that's a conversation for a different time.
Yeah,
Dude,
definitely.
I was literally just watching yesterday on 20 Minutes, the show on TV. They were talking about, I don't know if you guys learned about this in school, Black Wall Street. During like, I forget when it was.
The 70s.
No, it was like like the 50s. I can find it out. But in Tulsa, there's this place called Black Wall Street, and it was this affluent black neighborhood with these thriving businesses. It was like a metropolis, like a huge city, and it was attacked by white supremacists, and like the police and everybody like joined in. Like there was nobody protecting these black citizens. Like, and it wasn't like a small town either. It was like a huge town, like imagine like San Diego being attacked, you know. And so it was crazy because there's people who live there now who live in Greenwood, like this area where it was
in the 1920s, looks like.
Yes, the 20s. Okay.
Yeah.
So farther back than I thought, but
May 31st.
Wow, so that was recent, or coming up. Yeah. So there was actually a student who lived in Greenwood, and in college he was like learning about Black Wall Street and everything, and he's like, wait, I'm from Tulsa, and I like this didn't happen. And they're like, no, actually it did. Like in the school systems, they never taught about it. And it was like something that happened in their own town.
It's because they don't want to skew like what they think of. Like where they live.
Right. And I mean, it's just like there's so many things like that. And as you get older, obviously, you start to learn about, like, I just recently learned about Juneteenth. Yeah. And it's like there's so many things like that in history books that like are just completely taken out. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's devastating.
We were coming back from a trip. We were in Mammoth. We were skiing and we were driving back. And we saw that California one, the internment camp. It's like, oh, what's that? Oh, that was
the sign.
Oh, that was a Japanese internment camp. Like just like seeing it and then going, oh my gosh, like it was here. It was here on American soil. Like
that's our nation's history.
Yeah.
It is
and
insane.
not even, like you said, like not even that long ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there's still living, you know, people that still live today that went through that.
George Takei.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah.
It's just like, yeah, I think that's something that I'd like to see. My family talks about this all the time. Like, I'd like to see this administration, like, really revamp education and, like, history books and turn to, like, it's not that hard, right? It's not that hard to turn to indigenous people, minority groups, historians, and say, okay, let's write history books that are accurate and teach generations so that we will not repeat history.
And I think there's a way to teach it too, right? I think the fear that's always held these events from the books is like, we don't want it to seem like, you know, America's this terrible place. But I think there is a way to teach it and learn because America has changed and has grown like in insane ways. And even in the last, I mean, nowadays it feels like every year we're kind of breaking new ceilings, right? We're learning more, we're growing more. And so I don't know, I think framing it in the right ways is important. And I think that hopefully we'll see that.
I think it's the internet. Honestly, and a lot like
you can't hide anything
as
anymore.
Communication like gets better and more clear. It's like because that was always the thing, right? It's like the winners write the history books,
right?
Like the winners of wars, the conquerors get to write the history books, and like what we remember is based on that. And it's like, yeah, now with you know, obviously it's kind of a double-edged thing because the internet is so full of misinformation.
Yeah,
we're on the other side of that.
Yeah, of course. But you get to see like authenticity in, you know, like reporting and all of that. So,
and I feel like too, for years, like this white supremacist oppression, like rhetoric has been so like soaked into our like nation,
just made normal.
That it's that it's like so there, like it's a part of everything that like it's almost invisible. And it's like like even like we were just watching that video the other day about like music theory, how like music theory is so centered about like around white culture.
Yeah.
And it's like it's just perpetuated
Western European
so often that it's like it's not even like noticed that it's like, oh yeah, that's not the norm, right? Like there's so many other norms that aren't being represented. And it's just, I think
crazy.
It starts with education.
Yep.
Wow.
And it starts with, just highlighting credit where credit's due.
Absolutely.
So,
Pretty good.
it's good. Yeah.
I've
enjoyed.
We really dived into that one.
Yeah, of course.
No, it's good. I think there's as time goes on, we should really talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Like dive into it because I think there is a lot there to unpack, and we're coming up on July, so maybe that's it. Maybe that's an idea. Unpack America's real history.
Ooh,
Yeah, that could be
4th of July special.
Oh my gosh. Stop.
That would be
what is
sick.
Kat Pinning doing that week?
Yes, Kat.
She opened my eyes. Wow.
Whoa.
And you heard the episode.
I listened to the
so,
episode. Yeah.
Shout
It's
out
a
to
think
Mirror
piece.
Effect.
Yeah. Big.
You know what? Click off of this episode.
Yeah, go pop
Stop
over to
watching
Mirror Effect.
us.
Don't do
Just
Go
a
watch
quick
John.
2 hours and 45 minutes. Just listen to that.
Go watch
Oh my
John.
gosh, you're right. It was a long one, huh?
It's a good one.
It's a good one. Though.
Anyways, enough of that. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this podcast. Pod decks.
Is this the meat and potatoes?
By the way, we never mind. I'll tell you later.
Go ahead.
About pod decks. We got paid out on that, so really cool stuff. So thanks if you're watching and you're using our code.
What are
I
we
appreciate
still?
it.
We
Big
should be in our
thank you.
hype house, John.
I know.
I know where is the hype
give
house?
us
You
the
find
green
out
light.
the amount you might not. But, I think
The amount will
I
surprise
think
you.
they finally paid us out because they're like,
Whatever. Like
Fine.
it just has to happen.
We've sold like $100,000 worth of product, and they're like, "Here's $10."
They're like anything in the bottom case
Yeah.
is yours.
Yes.
Like, do you want a sticky hand?
So
That's about right.
Hey, if
Okay.
you want to help out, keep the lights on over here at What the Podcast, go to
start
Poddex.
Lights off, yeah.
Poddex.com.
Cockroaches,
Use the
like, on the
code
floor.
Well,
WTP.
it's AK clean.
I'm just gonna push through the ad read.
Yep.
Poddex.com. Use the code WTP.
God.
Get 10% off your next order of podcast deck
Merch.
questions.
Pretty good.
Are we gonna get some merch up in here? You know what I mean?
Like what the podcast merch?
I don't know.
We can get that going.
Would you rather? This one's kind of philosophical.
Oh, good.
Would you rather face a fork in the road or be forced to pick between 3 doors?
I know
So
my
it's kind
answer.
of like the same thing, right? I mean,
To what? What am I doing? Just in general.
Just in general.
so like
What?
it's the difference between choosing like a driving
Between
route
2
and
options.
opening a door.
No.
Aren't your
it's-
odds better if it's a fork in the road?
If you're
it's 2 or
making a
3.
decision, it's if you're making a decision, would you rather choose between 2 things or have to choose between 3 things?
I got it.
Is basically the question. A
Well,
fork in the road.
yeah, but
so option
but you
1
have
or
less
option 2,
options to decide between. So wouldn't you pick that?
or would you want to pick between 3 things?
Or are you
Because if
excited
it's
to make
3
the
things, is
decisions?
it 2 bad and 1 good,
It's
or is
just-
it 2 good
Okay,
and 1
you're-
bad?
Again, we do this every week.
I'm just saying.
We're reading
like,
into the
what
question.
kind of question is that?
Don't pull apart the
Go ahead
question.
and
What do you mean?
email Poddex for the answer to that.
Okay, if you were making a decision, would you rather choose between A and B or between 1, 2, and 3?
I
Okay.
would choose. Do you want to
Kara
hear
has
what
an
I-
answer. Let's
ahead,
hear the
Kara.
answer.
Yeah, because I'm going to base my
So-
answer off hers.
I know for myself when I'm trying to decide between 2 things,
Yes.
it takes a very long time. But when I have more than 2 options, so at least 3,
Yeah.
then I feel like I'm more inclined to choose faster because it's like whatever, I have 2 to lose. When the fork in the road is like,
So you start
why
to feel
did I
bad
not?
for the other
Yeah,
option.
why did I not choose that? That
other
was better.
emotion.
When the other 2, it's like, okay, well there were 2.
Who
I-
knows
like,
what
I could have chosen the wrong
ultimate
one.
outcomes. There's like a ton of outcomes. Yeah.
I'd rather have the more outcomes than the 1.
You also do ask me more often than not if it's 2 things,
Yeah.
and I will give my input, and she always goes with the other one.
Wait,
Yeah.
is that a thing? Because
Oh, that's the
Jordan
thing. Does Jordan
that,
do the same thing?
And I've literally, this is how bad it's gotten.
Yep.
I'll literally now, she doesn't know this, but she's not watching this episode. I'll literally choose the one that I don't like. I wouldn't choose,
And then
she'll go with it. And I'm like, that's like the only time she'll go with it.
It was when you're
Is
trying to
I'm
reverse
trying to,
psychology. her.
reverse psychology. So then I get so. Do you get frustrated by it?
I have come to terms with it. I'm like, this is how
You're-
what I think is happening. Cara maybe can attest to this. Is I will pose like, okay, you've chosen option 1, and then Cara will work out why option 1 isn't the right choice. Like it's just serendipity. Like she goes, okay, option 1, well, no, because this.
Well, it's
And then
also
you'll go with
like,
the other.
it's also when you're like, choose a hand, whichever hand, that's where we're like gonna go to dinner. If I choose the one that in
We
the back
do
of my
that
mind
sometimes.
I don't want, then
Yeah.
it's like, okay, then I really know that I wanted the other one.
Yeah, it's like when you
know?
What
Do
is
you think
going
you're
on?
Yodaing yourself? Like, is that easy?
Okay, but what do you do when you ask Cara things and she gives you an answer?
Well, I don't ask her things. I just make
Because it
decisions.
takes me too
You
long
never
to
ask
answer.
Cara whether or not you should do something?
I mean,
ever?
I do.
Okay, so
Yeah,
do
but then you
usually go
also
with
don't
what
listen
she
to
How
tells
often,
me.
you?
how often do you give me a definitive answer, though? You're like, well, you could go with 1 or you could go with 2. Like,
How often do you give Cara a definitive answer?
always. I'm like, you should go with the first one.
No,
And she's
or
like,
you go,
no,
maybe that one. You go, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like
Sure.
you play
Maybe.
both sides because
Yeah.
you don't want to like
Oh.
choose
At
one.
this point, I think I do. You're right.
Which
So,
makes
I'll
it
tell you
harder
what.
So really,
for me.
I don't know if that's a problem for you guys.
I had similar problem with Jordan and I, and she like it's even more annoying when she'll go, we're trying to decide where to go to dinner, kind of like you guys, right?
Okay.
And she goes, give me 3 options and I'll choose.
Okay.
I'll fire off like 3 solid options.
She doesn't like the
I
options.
don't like any of those. And I
yeah.
go, well, now you choose because I've given you 3 options.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And you don't like any of them. And she goes, oh, well, give me better options. And I'm like, so what options do you want me to give you so you can decide from them? You know what I'm saying?
But then you don't. Then you
have
don't
any
know.
preferences though? Like when you ask her in the back of your head, are you like, oh yeah, I have places I want to go to?
No, I mean, I don't mind making a decision. I will say I do feel like I make a lot of decisions throughout the day. So sometimes like when we're doing a date night,
Yeah.
sometimes you get like, I just learned about decision fatigue. Have you heard about this?
Oh,
Where you
yes.
make a lot of
You feel
decisions?
better when she makes a choice because
Yeah.
you don't necessarily have like
And
a
I don't care. Like that's the
Okay.
other thing is especially when it comes to like where we're eating,
because you're exhausted.
I'll just go wherever, you know.
Okay.
And I know she's particular, and I'm not.
Yeah.
So like, I've literally told her this a million times, and she knows about me. I said, I don't care what we eat. We can eat the same thing every single day. I'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you on that.
Like,
Like, ultimately, I don't care where we go to eat. Like,
Yes.
we're gonna go eat something good.
but you know, Cara cares.
Unless Cara gets like a strong craving, or like if I get a strong craving,
Yeah.
usually we're on the same wavelength when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, I'm like, I want pokey. She's like, done, let's go. Like,
See, and that's the thing is, Jordan is very like. It depends on what degree the wind is blowing, and that, and I'm okay with that. Like I love that about her. She's very specific.
Yeah.
But like, don't tell me to choose something when you know what you want, and you want me to
Well, it's
decide.
But at the
because
same
you-
time, you don't want to decide. So it kind of
Because I
takes the
don't
pressure
care.
off.
Yeah, because I
you
don't
just
care.
you don't want to do
Because-
the game of like, let's whittle them down and figure out which one we really want.
Because it's
Yeah.
either that, or you have to decide.
Because
Yeah.
you think
So-
in the back of Jordan's mind, she already knows what
Well,
she
because
wants.
I know
She
whatever I
uncon- she
decide,
unconsciously
she's
knows
not
what
gonna
she
wanna
wants.
Go to because we
Yeah.
have different, like we ultimately have different like tastes in food.
Okay.
Where like I'm a little more general. Where like I'll eat anything.
Yeah.
Again, like wherever we go, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, same.
But she's like again more specific. So
Right.
I know that when she asks me, I'm gonna say like Chipotle because it's close and it's easy, right?
Yeah.
But she's like. But it's date night, so we should go somewhere fancy and spend
Yeah.
time and go walk on the beach. And I'm like, well, that's
Interesting.
fine, but then you decide. Because
Right.
if it was up to me, we'd go to Chipotle and back.
Because you don't have
done.
expectations for
Yes, yeah.
it. I would say honestly, if I could have somebody just with me, maybe it's a personal assistant, whatever, who makes decisions for me all day long, who likes similar things to me, but like I don't, like it just makes decisions.
Yeah.
I would love that because I freaking hate making decisions for myself. Like if my parents
But then
decide
what
where
if you
I'm
hate
eating-
it?
Alright, yeah,
What if you
no
hate
way.
that
No,
decision?
I
because
don't
then
buy
it's
that
not my
at
decision that I
all.
can complain about it.
This is we're right on.
Right?
I was telling Jordan the other day. I think it's the most. I feel most loved when
Yes.
she orders food for me.
Yes.
Because
yes.
she like no, she
She gets it.
knows I don't care
Yeah.
that much, and she goes, well, he usually gets this, and it's I think it goes back to like when you know somebody,
Being considerate of
you
that,
like.
yeah.
I told her I was like, it is literally the most attractive thing to me when
Yep.
I roll up and you're like, I ordered this for you. I'm like,
Oh my God.
I feel so loved.
Yes, or when somebody, even if it's like, okay, I'm gonna make you, like sometimes at work, my coworkers are like, let me make you a coffee drink, like whatever you want. And I'm like, okay, great. And they're like, I'll make you a macchiato. And I'm like, yes. Like, I don't care. As long as you're making me something and it's a drink, I'll drink it. Because it's like, just the fact that they're making it for me and I don't have to decide and they're like doing it on their own, I'm like, Yeah, like I don't want to have to decide.
I feel that.
Because then it's like if you get it, it's just a gift. You know, like then it's just
And
a blessing.
there's not a lot of expectations.
No,
right?
and it's like whatever it is, I'll be
What?
happy.
I'm picky.
Yeah, you
She's
are.
picky over here. She's
I
picky.
think if anyone chose like somewhere that they know I'd like, but
Yeah.
then like something random that I haven't had in a long time, like I'm good with someone bringing me a coffee drink if they know
I know
that
you.
I don't like.
Yeah,
coffee.
but let me
Okay.
go further on this. Like,
Yeah.
say like out of nowhere, everyone's ordering food. You're on your way from work or something.
Yeah.
And Ryan's like, I'm gonna order this for Cara because I know she likes it, without even checking with you. You like roll up. It's something that you do like. And he's ordered it for you. He's like intentionally ordered it for you without even like he didn't even have to text you. Like he knew exactly. Doesn't that make you feel like super loved?
Seen.
Well, yeah, because I trust him.
Yeah. See,
But-
she's just like us.
But I do get very picky about like when I'm craving
That's the
something.
problem. I think
and-
you need the personal assistant.
Yeah.
I think
Oh yeah, I like.
because given the reins, you will just spin out of control.
So
yeah.
so would you choose Fork in the Road or Three Doors?
Yeah. I'm trying to think about that.
I would for sure do Fork in the Road because
Oh,
I think out.
the decision of two is
Dude,
so hard.
I think out every single possibility, and
Yeah.
when I have too many options, it becomes overwhelming. Like when you go to Cheesecake Factory, this might be a stupid
Yes.
example,
Their
but when you go to
menu.
Cheesecake
No,
Factory,
I'm right on with you.
you have so many options that I don't even like. By the time I'm done ordering, I'm like, I don't even want the food because
Yeah.
it's so stressful.
You don't even want the food
I'm
that
like,
you
I
ordered.
don't even like because there's so many options that I'm
Yep.
like, well, what if I would have wanted that? You know,
Yeah.
like what if I get what I get and it's not that good?
Yeah.
It's not like I have these huge like expectations for Cheesecake Factory.
You know
but-
that's why like
got a ton
Chipotle
of gift
and
cards
Taco
for
Bell
that.
are good because it's all the same ingredients every time.
See, I love that. And I like
Consistency, yeah.
yes,
Yep.
I like when I'm looking on a website at clothes, I hate PacSun. I look on PacSun.com
That's decision fatigue right there.
because it's literally 100 different bathing suits. And so I have to look at all of them because
Yeah.
I'm not going to just decide, oh, I'm going to go with this one if there's a cuter
Psycho.
option.
So you won't just go with the first one you see that you like?
Nope.
If I love it, then yes.
That is such a difference.
But then
between
you
us.
but then you
no.
look up the same style and different colors in it, and then you're like, oh my
Here's what I'll
gosh.
I should
say.
have gotten that.
I'll, like if I'm at a new restaurant, like you said, like Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
And because I go down the same road sometimes. I'm like, oh, like I didn't like what I just ordered. But I
Yeah.
will read it until I see something that I want.
Sticks out, yeah.
I'll just keep that in my brain and I'll read all the other menu items. But at that point, I'm like, no, like I want that first thing.
But doesn't it like, aren't there a couple that present
You
themselves
kind of
and
weigh
you're
the
like,
options. You're
oh.
like, okay, am I going to get like this shrimp salad or am I
Like,
going to get
I'd
like
much rather-
pasta? You're like, no, I know I'm getting pasta.
You are
Right.
you are very much a person who is I will get both. Like,
Sure.
oh, these
Yeah.
all these appetizers are really good. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna
Well,
get that. I'm gonna get that.
I mean, that's another thing.
yeah,
Given the option, I'll
my
definitely
God.
try everything.
That's the third option is when you're at a restaurant and someone just says, let's do family style. Oh, thank God. Like, let's do family style.
You're out to eat, and
I
it's like,
will
let's just get
split
some.
the
You want
check.
to just get some pizzas? Like,
Yeah.
heck
Philippi's.
Yeah.
God, that's so
Heck
much
yeah.
better.
So
I
great.
hate the pressure. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
here's what I'll say for this question.
Yes.
2 doors. Here's why.
Same.
Wow.
My brain
Oh, two fork.
can't
Fork.
can't analyze 3 roads. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, and it might be my ADD, but like I literally like when it's a clear like this or this, very easy.
Oh, yeah.
When it's like this or this, I'm like it's too much to
Yeah,
compute
too
here.
much.
I can't.
You know, actually, I might say 3 doors because I'm the opposite. To me, if it's 2 things opposing each other,
It's too much
it's
thinking.
too close, and
Too
I'm
much
like,
pressure.
I choose one, and then it's like, well, what about the
Yep.
other door?
That's why I
Whereas
chose
if
3.
there's 3, the best one for some reason sticks out to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's number 1. Like it's door number 1.
You know what I'm trying? I'm like,
kinda see
I'm
that,
thinking
actually.
about that. It's
What?
like let's make a deal.
I was gonna say, like that's kind
It's
of the
3.
thing.
You get 3.
Pick
Yeah,
between
3
3
doors.
doors.
3 curtains.
Yeah.
But then you have more options. Like there's more odds against you.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're true.
Are you
You're
so
right.
you picked 3 roads?
No, I
and
picked
are you-
2. I picked
oh,
2.
2 doors. Oh,
Both
okay.
of you are
no,
twos.
it's actually
Because-
3 doors and 2 roads, but
It's funny because I feel like me and
not
John
important.
Who cares?
land on the same answer most of the
Uh-huh.
time, and you guys land on the same answer. Because I
Oh,
feel
I
like
feel like me and John always land on the same answer.
Well, I also
Oh,
feel like
that's true.
sometimes we.
That's true. That's true.
It's
Wow,
kind of
there's
a
a
weird
lot
mix.
of mix.
we're
Yeah.
it's like we're all agreeing, but we're all coming to different conclusions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think it's
That's what
just
makes the podcast great.
when it's simple and there's 2 options,
Uh-huh.
it's so much easier. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
this
I'm
or
with
that.
that too. I
Yeah.
think that makes it go, you go like, okay, well, I don't have to think out so many things.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But it's a vague question, so it could go a lot of ways.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I liked it. It's kind of
course.
like weird and wacky.
So would you choose between California Adventure or Disneyland?
Oh, Cara with the
No
segue.
contest.
Segue.
No contest. Disneyland.
Disney.
I
Yeah.
take Disneyland. I don't know what there's
But
really even
actually,
redeemable.
lately I've been like more California Adventure because I
Because they
love
just
that new.
Are they opening that new Avengers Land? Or
Haven't seen
something?
that yet, but the Guardians drop. Love that ride.
Love that.
I
guys.
love.
So fun.
Oh, the Avengers campus I think is open.
They were
Yeah.
just talking about it.
I've been seeing
Because-
a lot of social media like I've seen TikToks
Of Disneyland?
Disney, like they're really going for it with like the
Yes.
marketing. What
So
you got?
I got a text from our devoted viewer, Kat Binning, and she sent this like a screenshot of this new Avengers Land, and she's like, what the podcast needs to do at Disney, like go to Disneyland and do like an episode, like
yes.
a Disney trip.
I'm down.
Down,
Yeah, of
but they were
course.
saying, in this screenshot, it says when the Avengers campus opens in June, at least one menu item will be
Oh,
fit
June 4th.
for Tony Stark. It's $100 sandwich.
The sandwich. I saw that.
Feeds 6 people.
Yep, I saw that
Is
on
it
the
giant?
news.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell from this photo specifically.
What do you
but,
mean it feeds 6 people? Is
I
it that thing
guess.
on the left?
yeah, it must be that, and this is just a piece of it. So I
The
I-
foodie guide.
$16 a person. That's not bad.
yeah, it's not bad at all. I think
I'm going to be eating the whole thing, but yeah, sure.
in that sense. I think we could all 4 of us could finish it. if
Oh,
if
no
put our minds
question.
to it.
I saw a
$25 a
TikTok-
person. It's worth it.
I saw a TikTok of a bar on the Avengers campus, and it was all like in these cool little cups.
It's
was-
Pym Laboratory,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's supposed to be the scientist from Ant-Man, and it's all not. It's
Whoa.
like first they're serving drinks in little beakers, right? So it's like
saw that.
science.
That's so
but
cool.
then it's Ant-Man, so it's a bunch of like shrunken food.
Oh,
So it's like a little tiny thing on a plate, and the plate is actually also made out of food.
Do you want
That's
to
so
hear the
cool.
drinks?
Let's hear it.
So the drinks for that are the Honey Buzz, which is gin, lemon juice, and honey syrup with a honey straw.
I thought they started serving alcohol.
Spearmint, tequila,
Oh,
Minute
California
Maid,
Adventure?
lime
Yeah.
juice, mango and habanero syrup, made with mango popping pearls. So little
Hey.
bobas at the bottom.
Oh,
You ever get drunk at Disneyland?
Never,
Never
have I.
You've
Ever.
been drunk at Disneyland?
I've been tipsy at Disneyland.
Really?
It's fun.
That's
It seems like it would be
Gosh.
fun
Yeah.
because
I'm happy for you.
I do like Disneyland. Not enough like to have an annual pass.
Sure.
But yeah, it seemed like it would be a fun place, right? Because
good
it's kind of
times.
safe, right? It's
Yeah,
like you're
sure.
in an environment where you're not.
But
gonna
then
get in any
what about when you have
trouble.
to drive home? Like,
Well,
You're sober
you're
up
there
by
for
then.
like 12 hours. You just
Yeah.
like
I feel like that'd be
sober up.
exhausting.
Oh, there's an
Oh, wait a
Iron
second.
You
Man.
do Disneyland like full day?
Come on.
I mean, when you're
No,
paying
I
for
mean,
a day pass?
You mean
I would
drinking.
do Disney full day, but being drunk at Disneyland and being there for a full day, I feel like that's
not
a
drunk.
lot.
Okay, not drunk.
There's
We-
an
Tipsy?
Iron Man Infinity
By the way,
Gauntlet
I've fully been drunk. I just
Like-
realized. Anyways, go ahead.
and Iron Man.
glove.
What?
Yeah.
I've been drunk at Disneyland. I've been tipsy.
Okay.
Last family
Pulling out on
vacation,
me.
last family vacation we took, my mom, it was for her birthday. She wanted like the whole family to go.
Okay.
And so we all went, and I was with my brothers, and we, it's weird because now that we're all kind of older, and most of my siblings are actually moved out. When we get back together, it's like we're more childlike
Party
than
on.
we were when we were actually kids,
Yep.
So I remember, and it's fun now
When you were
because now
kids,
we
you were
can
little, like,
drink together, right?
businessmen and
we're all adults
women.
and it's
Right.
legal, and you can go out and drink. And so we took shots at this bar in downtown Disney.
Yeah.
So there's a photo, so
Oh,
good,
yeah.
of Bobby and I like holding up shots, and we have the whole matching shirts, like a family thing. Like we got matching shirts, and like at one point we all bought like individual like Disney hats because we all wanted to do the whole. We were doing Disney full. And,
Wow.
You got to do it.
and I will say it was so much fun because again, when you're with a good group of people, and we were also staying in a hotel like right nearby. So
Oh, fun.
It's not like we had to drive home.
Yeah, that's better.
Easy.
And it was so fun.
Me and Cara went and sat up at that restaurant. It's like right there by the water.
Is it in-
Paradise
Oh,
Pier?
it
like
used to be the Ariel's Grotto one.
Oh,
but it's like a
nice.
restaurant bar now.
Now it's
Very
the
nice.
Pixar. It's
That's it.
Oh,
Pixar
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Paradise.
Yeah,
I
something
don't
like
know.
that.
Enjoyable.
Do they have good drinks?
Lobster nachos.
Oh, the
Hello.
lobster
What?
nachos.
Good.
Those were
And
so
good
good.
drinks, yeah.
Seal the deal.
We need a
Okay,
Seal
do you
the deal
guys
on
know
that.
why? Do you know why that sandwich is $100?
Why?
Because it's a long,
Yeah.
like
so
big.
it's like
It's
a
a big
big
one.
sub.
And a slice of it is $15. So it's a huge sandwich.
So it's like a
big
family style
Yeah.
sandwich. I mean,
We
cool.
were just talking about family style. So
Yeah.
There you go. Well,
no, I think
Don't
we
you
should
love
do
it?
The
because
answer.
I think what would be even more fun is going to Disneyland with like us and
Yeah.
getting a little tipsy, having
would
a
be
good
fun.
time. You know?
It's like grad night.
yeah, and I almost would want to like stay up there, for like
Yeah.
a night or whatever.
Yep.
Because we have to rush home. We could just like take our time.
now see, here's the thing that we're going to run into. That's
ahead.
going to be a problem. Is we want to go to Disneyland.
Yes.
Everybody else wants to go to Disneyland because we're exiting COVID times.
Yep.
And it's reopening. It hasn't been open for like a year.
I want to go
Year
so
plus.
bad.
That was like-
okay, but the people who wanted to go so bad have already gone.
Nope.
No, it's a
Sorry.
waiting list.
No. It's a
Chuggy.
waiting list.
For California.
No, I found
What?
out.
Chuggy Disney
Chug.
adults.
I found out that you buy a ticket.
Yes.
Then you have
You buy a reservation spot.
And then
Yeah.
you buy the reservation spot, and then you buy the reservation app that'll log you into
my
the
gosh.
reservation spot.
And
And
then
then
you
you
have
get
to-
the reservation
yeah,
chip.
then you have
it's
to buy
not-
it.
It's to me, it's not worth it because I feel like one, I'm sure the prices are like crazy high right now.
I know they're gonna
Yeah, there's
be
no
high.
there's like no annual passes anymore.
And honestly, I'm scorned because we were
Yeah.
we
We
were
were
loyal
Really?
members.
we
Same.
were loyal members.
We were musketeers.
We were
Musketeers.
musketeers.
And now we just have
Well,
musketeers.
what I'll say is, I think my parents. I was talking to my parents about it, and I was like, "Yeah, they terminated all the animal passes,"
Yeah.
and they're like, "They've done that a million times." I guess like
They'll bring it
throughout
back.
the history, they'll
Had
end
no
it,
idea.
and then they'll bring it back because they'll be like, "Oh, they're trying to reconfigure the whole system
they
or
like
whatever."
took away the
It's-
Southern California
you're
pass for a
right.
while.
Once it comes back,
then brought it back.
My theory is it's going to be like a 10-pack or something. Like
Yeah,
the
same.
annual pass is going to be like, oh, you can go 10 times a year or something
make
like
more
that.
money.
What's crazy
They're gonna
is
make
that
more money that way.
Disney is such a massive company where it's like towards before COVID happened, they were literally raising their prices because they were trying to discourage people to come because they were hitting max capacity.
Well, that's
every
why they.
single day.
That's why they literally
Dude.
stopped the California SoCal pass because all
You know
the
why they're raising their
Californians are going.
prices?
Why.
Because people will pay them.
Yeah.
Well,
They
yeah,
have a
and
premium on magic and family
and they do it well.
like
Yeah.
experience,
You know?
and they do whatever. Yeah, they do it well, but it's like
yeah, you don't like
know
to
what I
admit
mean?
that? Was that
No.
tough for you?
yeah, whatever. They're like great. We
like
love
yeah,
them.
no, Disneyland is great, but like,
don't know, like,
how much are you willing to pay to go to Disneyland?
It is what it is. You know what I mean?
Okay,
It is what it is.
it's like $120 right now. Tomorrow,
worth
it's
it.
like
No,
yeah,
it's more than that.
okay.
But that's just
Really?
like
How much is it?
inflation. You know what I mean?
for right now for the day pass,
look
it's
this up.
168.
Okay,
I
would you
think.
pay $500 to go to Disneyland?
for
a day?
for like 5 days
For a day.
5 times?
This is
No. The
This
price-
is a bad person to ask.
You
No.
wouldn't go.
not for
Would
a day.
you go
no.
for $500?
Ryan, you know I'd go. Like I'll
course.
go. I'll go.
Wait,
Of course you would.
go for $500?
I would.
Like
I
you know what I mean?
not.
Like what is it?
It's like-
is this a bet? Is this a bet?
no, I'm just
no,
being
but
honest.
literally, like-
inflation's whatever. You know, like it's always gonna get more
It's
expensive.
like inflation's like, I don't know, 2%, 3% a year or something.
Yeah, well, they
Dude,
have it. Like, what
standard
am I
parking
not going to
is
go to
up,
Disneyland?
like,
Am I just going to
100%
not go to
sometimes.
Disneyland? Like they have me,
That's what I mean. That's what I'm getting at.
but there's
It's like-
nothing I can do about it.
That's why
I'm a
kinda
victim of
pissed.
Disneyland.
And they just decided one day, like, oh, we're not going to have the pass. Like, oh, you're an annual
But
pass member?
that's
No, you're not.
literally
It's like-
everything. That's Netflix. That's like everything that I know I have to. Healthcare. Like it is what it is.
Are you equating to a Disney pass to healthcare? Is that what
Yes,
I'm
I'm
hearing?
saying
Right.
like they manipulate us, and we have nothing we can do about it.
You got nothing you can do.
Like I need healthcare, so
Yeah,
like
but also like, do you need Disneyland?
yeah, well,
have you
I
heard
would
this
equate it
word,
to be the
John?
same.
Chuggy.
I've heard
This is
about
a
it.
I
TikTok
hate
word.
it.
I don't think. You know what's funny?
actually hate it. We talked
is
about it the other
There's a
day.
TikTok like, oh yeah, the millennials or whatever,
Yeah.
the young Gen Zers,
Yeah.
me, are like saying chuggy now. Like this is a new word. It's like, is it a new word? Like nobody's saying it.
You're
coming back
defending
to
your
the,
generation a lot right
whoa.
now.
I'm just saying, like, who makes new words? Like,
It's
I'll
the
make new
generation
words.
war, right?
So
Come
as
to
a-
me.
As a side note, the Disneyland ticket thing to resolve that, it looks like it is a sliding scale. You can get up to 10 days, and the price goes down per day as you get more
What did I
days.
say?
So at 10 days, you can get it for $52 a day. So that's like $500
So
bucks,
obnoxious.
right?
It's
For
like,
10
whatever.
days. Or something
Oh,
like
that's
that?
not. I mean, think
It's like
think
they don't
about
care
when-
about us. You know what I mean? Like they don't give a crap. So
J.K. Rowling over there.
they
Yeah, no
Okay,
kidding.
wait. So
gonna
think
what's,
about
that in the
what's the
middle.
price for one day?
One day is $109.
$109.
Oh, okay, that's not that bad.
You know what it costs
actually.
them to get you in the door for the day? $0. So they've just upsold you now because you're going, 10 days, like that's good. You know.
Do you know what I think of though?
They just upsold you like 5 times what you
Do you
would
know
have
what
paid
I
for
think
one
of
day.
the
That's every amusement park.
$52 a day though?
What?
When we had passes, and it was like I went to Disneyland 3 times, I already paid off my pass pretty much.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
if I use my pass at least 3 to 5 times, I've already like used the potential.
They're
of
like
it.
taking that away from us. They're like, no.
They're literally charging you, and think about it. And then you go into the park, and then you spend $100.
Yeah.
No, dude, do you know how many COVID babies were born in the past year? Like every parent in
Yep.
the U.S. right now is like, we need to take our infant
We
to
gotta go to Disneyland.
because it's our first time
What's,
going to Disneyland.
what's funny,
Guaranteed.
Olivia, is that you were defending Disneyland like 5 minutes ago, and now you're like,
No, because
What, a racket?
Because
So
I
what
love
side are
it,
you on here?
but there's
It
nothing
is.
I can do
There's
about it.
nothing you can do
like
about it.
I love it so much that
You
they
will-
can take advantage
That's the
of
thing
me.
is like you will go to Disneyland.
yeah,
You're gonna go.
Yeah.
You know what I
I'm
think
gonna
they're gonna
go.
do?
We're all gonna go
Because
and
you
pay
miss it.
ridiculous amounts of money because
It's always that's what I mean is it's always been ridiculously
Yeah.
expensive. Like it's just following its trend.
It's like back in the 1950s. What really? I'm gonna pay $14
to get
Are you
into
out of
this
your
place.
mind?
Gosh,
Are
could
you
you
crazy?
It just
Yeah.
what,
You out of your mind?
what blows my mind is not. I mean, it's the reality, like you said. It is what it is, and there's nothing you can do about it. And if I want to go to Disneyland with friends, that's what you're gonna pay.
Yep.
But I think what's crazy is that Disneyland has done this so well.
Yep.
To where they're like raising their prices, one because they can,
Yep.
but two because they're also, I think, subliminally trying to discourage people so that the park isn't super
Yeah.
full. And I'm like, what a problem to have, right? That you have this massive infrastructure of a Disneyland park that works like a well-oiled machine by like time, and they've gotten to this point, and it works well. And now they're like, how do we get people to stop coming? You know what
How
I'm
do we
saying?
get people to like our products less?
I think that's. I don't know. I don't
Not
know.
sure.
If I don't know if I buy that.
Happening.
I don't know if I buy the like. It's
We're
to
raising
get people
prices to make
like,
it more-
Oh, I guess we have to.
Yeah.
Like raise the
So
price.
I'm wondering because
I guess.
I was listening
Get outta
to
here.
the radio the other day. I don't remember what it was, but
Clint
they were
August.
saying
Jeff
how
and Jer.
Gosh.
wow, Jeff
Dave
and Jer.
Shelley, Chainsaw.
The DSC.
They were saying like, oh, they were giving away Disney tickets, and I was like, for one, I was like, how'd the radio station get Disney tickets when they're like such a big like prize
Commodity
package right now?
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, we're giving them away, but they're for after June 15th.
Yeah.
When Disneyland like mask mandate is gone and Disneyland's gonna bump up their capacity again.
Wait, mask mandate's gone by June 15th?
Yeah.
In California.
I didn't know that. Wow.
In certain
So-
Targets, you can walk
Basically,
in without a mask.
Yeah.
Really?
I think
And
in,
Starbucks.
Yeah, Fauci said it's okay now. So
So
I think in like
Vaxxed.
49 states
Yeah, I'm
except for
vaxxed.
this
so
one.
they
or
were
something.
saying like, oh, the prize package we're giving away is for after June 15th. But if you can go before that because of the capacity limit,
Yeah,
it's
there's,
like,
no
really
lines.
great right now because the lines, like the longest line you'll wait in. My neighbors went a couple weeks ago and they said the longest line they waited in was 15 minutes. And it was for cars.
That's so fun, dude.
And it was like, wow.
Different.
But
Different
I
times.
think it's going to take a while for, probably going to get a lot of flack for it, but I think Newsom probably won't open like theme parks in California, like Disneyland, to the rest of the state for a while.
What does that
okay.
mean?
Because we're the first state, or not the first, our like numbers are really, really, really low, and that's why the mask mandate's going to
Texas
go.
and Florida have been doing
You
it
can't-
since before
wait.
the numbers were down.
Yeah.
You
But
can't stop people from coming to Disneyland from other states.
right now they are. It's only California residents right
'Cause
now.
they're doing
you have to prove that.
reservations.
Yeah, I heard that.
No way.
Yes.
Maybe,
I'm being dead
maybe a couple
serious.
months ago.
No, right now.
You're saying right now only people from California can
Yes.
go to Disneyland.
Somebody
because
I know
it's
just
so
went and she posted on her story.
controlled.
She said that she needed her California ID.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes
get
sense.
I will fact check.
I mean,
Really quick.
No,
Dude,
I
okay.
believe you. I just think that's like silly.
We
Yeah.
used to do this thing every year when we were younger. Our family would go to Disneyland on
New Year's Eve.
And apparently this was
that
like
it?
this and Mother's Day was like the highest like amount of people that would come to Disneyland. Like those were their busiest days at Disneyland. And so we would go at like 8 a.m. to get in the park. They would literally shut down. They wouldn't let people in after like 1 o'clock because it was so packed.
Dude, this was epic.
It was so
Really?
epic. It was so packed.
Thinking about it
like
now,
there's so many
it's kind of
people.
wacky how many people there were.
Oh
Just
my god! Like everywhere you went was crowded. Like everywhere you went was like a ton of people. But it was so hype because like once the ball dropped, like once it was New Year's, they had this whole like party at like the castle, and they like
It was
set up a
literally
DJ.
people like
like,
standing up against each other, like
Nice.
It
in
was
the middle of the
so-
park, like right in front of the castle. They were
Mickey's like spinning
Crazy.
tracks up there.
Oh,
Straight up.
it literally
It
was.
was so hype,
So,
dude. Every year.
This
Oh
is
my
on
gosh.
the
We should go.
Disneyland website.
It was fun.
On New
It
Year's.
says, we're pleased to announce our phased reopening, blah, blah, blah. Until further clarification from the state, only California residents may visit the parks and in groups no larger than 3 households. Proof of residency is required.
Crazy
Wow.
town.
I don't get it. Like why?
Crazy lazy town, guys.
Because,
I don't know. I think we're going to see this less and less. The reality, right? I mean,
Next
I
month.
think
Del
as
Mar Fair is gonna pop off.
Things are going to open, and here's why. I think we're at a point where it's like if you don't have, if you're not vaccinated, it's because you don't want to be vaccinated.
It's your own
Which is
funeral, right?
And that's
Like,
you.
yeah.
You know? And I think the guy like
Does make sense
everything
to
with
me,
the,
but
with
that's
the
you.
like, pandemic government
Yeah.
thing. They're all going. Listen, we can't make people get a vaccine. And like before, it was like people were obviously concerned and they would have taken a vaccine. And so it's like that's public safety, but now it's like less and less public safety. It's like
Yeah.
okay, now it's common sense.
Yep.
Get
We
a
should-
vaccine or don't, whatever.
We should have a conversation with an anti-vaxxer because I'm very curious. Like,
I know a few.
really?
I do.
Yeah,
have
I
a
do too.
conversation with them on the
is
podcast.
really far in
Yep.
between. I mean, have you seen the TikTok trend about the magnet? They take
yeah.
their vaccine
Yes.
and they put the magnet on there and
Yes.
it sticks or something. I'm like, whatever. I just
Yeah, I don't know.
I think
there's
about
a lot
it-
Of, there's like you said, there's a lot of different reasons.
I try and think of
yeah,
like,
that's just,
There's not
that's
like
the
a
What have
there's
you
not like a
heard?
united front.
Like most commonly, is it like, oh, I'm afraid that the government's going to track
It's not
me?
even-
It was fast tracked. I think a lot
Yes.
of people are worried that the vaccine was fast tracked.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. Yeah,
I
And
watched.
that to me is the most logical argument.
but in the same
But-
vein, it's like okay, but it's because we had the entire world was working on this thing and all the resources that were getting pulled because it was a freaking national
and the bureaucracy
global
was taken
pandemic.
away. Like the
Yeah.
the hoops they had to jump through were like
Yeah.
not there.
They were fast tracked.
Yeah.
it's like
And so
I don't know.
that's kind of
Isn't
the
that a
main
good thing?
The main one I've seen. I think also anti-vaxxing has been a thing long before the pandemic.
Right, yeah.
So there's always
I
going to be
try
that
and
crowd.
I try and think of like, I know it's a different kind of vaccine,
Mm-hmm.
but the flu vaccine, like decisions on like why some years I'm like, I don't want to get the flu vaccine.
Yeah.
Like some years it's like, oh, I don't get it because like it's just the flu, even though the flu literally kills people.
it's true.
It's like,
you're right. I mean,
it's just the flu. Like
rarely
if
get a
I'm gonna
flu
catch
shot.
a cold, it's fine. But
Really?
then some years I'll decide to
not
get
because
one.
I'm against it.
You just
I'm not
forget.
like anti-flu
Yeah.
shot. Like I would get one, but I'm just like yeah,
wants to
whatever.
go?
I
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
I
Yeah.
wasn't aware how bad the flu was because I think like my family members were not like in the age bracket where it's like super dangerous, you know? So it
Or you
wasn't
don't
like
know
a
somebody
big
who has like an underlying health
Yeah.
condition.
yeah, like I don't
Yeah.
know.
But I think of
I feel
it
the same way.
I think of it like that of like why people choose not to get the flu vaccine.
Yeah.
Because so I'm hoping that like all of COVID and coronavirus kind of gets towards like closer to how the flu is like
It will.
normal.
That's
Well,
the
the
hard
flu-
part for me is like
Is less contagious though too. I'm pretty sure coronavirus you can like whoever has the coronavirus spreads it to at least like 3 people, whereas the flu you spread it to like 1 person. I'm pretty sure.
Interesting.
I could be wrong, but
that's the dissonance for me that I'm having a really hard time with is like we all went through COVID. We all know that COVID freaking ruined
Yeah.
everything.
well, not every
Like,
state went through the same thing.
That's true.
Like if you live in Texas, you weren't shut down. You know, like it's not like
Okay.
you had to live
I
inside
don't-
for
that's fair. Yeah.
4 months.
The people that I'm coming in contact with here in California.
Oh, yeah.
We all went through the same crap. It's
Yeah.
like, and now this is like a theoretical end to that. Like,
Yeah.
why would you like?
Yeah,
why
the
would
fact
you-
that
now
it
you're-
becomes
"Nah,
a
I just
question of
don't know."
like your
Now-
freedom
Yeah.
is like
It's
confusing to me.
Well, the whole thing got blown out of the water.
Well, the
with
reality
that.
is it's the government's not making you get it, right?
No.
That's what kind of takes the wind out of the people. Like it's government control. I'm like, fine, don't get it, whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that is worrisome is that viruses mutate, right? And so the reality is, I don't know that this is like a huge reality with Corona, but the reality is that if people still end up getting it, it's going to have that ability to mutate and
Yeah.
get worse, and then
The vaccine
our
won't
vaccine
work.
becomes less effective.
But apparently, I mean, the vaccine's been like now that it's been applied in like real life scenarios, it's apparently like more effective than it even was in trials.
They'll be able to react for sure faster.
And to the variants, like they were saying, it's like
two
really
variants
well.
only. There was a new like I think it was the one from Brazil. It was a Brazil variant, which the vaccine is not as it doesn't work as well against that one.
I feel like it hasn't been exposed enough.
I'm considering getting a flu shot because it's like if that is the case, like. Okay, worst case scenario, worst case scenario, we all become robots and zombies and we die.
Yeah.
But medium case scenario is like now every year you got to get it. Right. Yeah. Every year you got to get a COVID shot. It's like
it's a reality.
Listen,
this is how they eradicate like
diseases,
major diseases,
chickenpox, whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's what's so crazy to me about anti-vaxxers is I could never understand the mindset because I'm like. Because of vaccines, like all these major diseases, they just don't exist anymore. And we're just better off as people.
Yeah. And anti-vaxxers are never doctors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always people that are speculating like,
I disagree with that.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not getting into it. I know a couple like professionals who
doctors who are anti-vaxxers.
Can we get them on the
specifically with the coronavirus?
I just remember
just get them on the show.
during the middle of the pandemic, like there was that thing on the news and it was like the Doctors Association, right? And it looked like
the fake people
bought trench coats at Party City and were
that
like
woman, right? And she had the thick
doctor's
accent.
coats and she was like, "We're here to tell you that the coronavirus is fake." And here we are, we're a bunch of doctors. And it was like they were standing like far away from a hospital.
Line.
Yeah, like it looked like they were like posing, like
yeah.
we're here to tell you. Yeah, right.
Bruh.
Do you know what's crazy? Is that like when was the last time like we're alive in a time where a vaccine was created?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Isn't that psycho?
But that happens all the time.
When was the
right?
last when
Major,
was the last
though,
like
on
like
like a global
when was
level,
the flu vaccine?
But it's created every year.
Well, the what's H1N1, right? Didn't they develop a vaccine for that?
Oh, swine flu.
Swine flu.
Yeah.
I think what
Like
you're saying, Carol, and I
2012.
agree with you, is that this is like
Historical.
the most like
it's historic.
seen
I'm with you.
global incident. You know, like I don't know
Totally.
that our kids will ever be live in a time where it's like, you know, there's this mass global pandemic. You know, just the fact that there was a pandemic is huge.
Yeah, totally.
Because that hasn't happened since the Spanish flu.
there's
or
a
something
website,
like that, right?
Crazy.
Ebola too.
There's a
Ebola was
website
pandemic.
called The History of Vaccines.
So crazy.
Wow.
I meant more like anti-vaxxers, not like for coronavirus, but like just in general.
Yeah,
You know,
honestly,
like-
the less time we talk about them, the better for me because they're just like so much. You know who's not affected by the coronavirus though?
Oh, transition. I feel like transition coming on.
Wait, who?
Shadow Vision.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, you guys keep saying this name. I don't know what you're talking
Okay,
about.
Shadow Vision.
Okay.
We
we
got-
got to shout out Kat again because she's just like the queen of this episode for some reason.
Woo! Always. Every
She's
episode,
telling
I'm
me
sorry.
about it's like this vigilante. John, tell us about it because you did
I
some
have it
research.
pulled up and I read
He's
the
a
article.
he's a real life Batman.
And he
Okay.
is a local superhero that vows to take down. There's in Little Rock right now. It's just articles on May 7th of 2021. I guess there in Little Rock there is a like serial stabber. He's killed 3 people.
Oh,
and
gosh.
wounded a 4th. And
Oh my gosh.
so Shadow Vision is a vigilante. There's so many elements about this guy that I need to tell you about.
Yep.
But I'll start with that. He's been around for 8 years in Little Rock. Interesting enough, they think he came from Ireland based off his speech pattern. Nobody knows who it is, by the way. It's like, and so this is the photo. I'll put it in the video too, but I'll show you guys.
There's one Irish guy in Little Rock.
Actually,
and
let me just screen mirror this real
I
quick.
don't know.
Do it.
Who could the Shadow Man be? And then the Shadow Man comes. He's like,
So,
I am the Shadow Man.
This is him.
Ed Sheeran and
Yeah.
searching.
This is Shadow. Well, actually, I'll just go
Whoa,
like this.
whoa.
There we go.
Yes.
Pause and
Thank
rewind
you.
to see John's
Thank you.
search history.
Not anything exciting. It's a lot of spellings, figuring out how to spell words. Anyway, Shadow Vision, right? So he carries 2 katanas on his back. He's got 2 daggers on his shins. He wears
gosh.
handcuffs, and he has this really specialized helmet that I don't know the full details of. Of course, come on, he's not gonna release that.
Is that legal to have 2 daggers on your shins?
Well, I think the katanas are illegal. I'm not gonna lie to you, but
Okay.
Little Rock, I don't know what the laws are.
Okay.
So, but basically,
Scroll back to what he looks like.
This is what he looks like.
Cool.
This is our guy.
Wow.
Thank you.
And
His little,
my
his
hero.
little
Thank you,
handcuffs,
Shadow Man.
His little
You're
handcuffs.
our only
As a side note, he's
Shadow Vision.
vowed to
Vision.
now this is May 7th.
I love this reporting. Shadow Vision stepped out of the shadows this week to issue a public challenge to the serial stabber blamed for 3 deaths and 1 violent attack in the past year.
Oh yes, and so this is the
Wow.
favorite part. This was on May 7th. He had
Wow.
4,000 fans on Facebook. He has 6,000 people on Facebook now.
Oh,
today, I checked today, by the way.
Oh, I'm going to go follow him.
And I liked him. I follow him. He goes live pretty frequently. And it's always just like a shot of
A
him.
GoPro shot on his
It's
head.
like this close.
Oh.
And it's like, it's like how I'm holding my phone, like from from below.
Oh my gosh.
But basically, he. I don't know.
I'm sorry. How many did you say he had this morning?
6,000.
He's
I
got
saw.
10,000 likes.
See, because that's a big jump. Because it was 6,000 this morning.
Wow.
He's got 9,600.
So also, you know what?
So not that much.
So
Not that many.
super low key. But he apparently is, he's keeping the Little Rock safe, I guess. There's like an area where this serial stabber apparently attacks frequently, and he has vowed to patrol the area. This is my favorite part too. Shadow Vision vows to try and this is a quote. All I can say is he can either turn himself in or I will hunt him.
Gosh.
Oh my gosh.
So
Okay.
Shadow Vision is a big deal.
So how do we know Shadow Vision is like a trustworthy narrator?
Well, here's what I think.
Do you think he's playing both sides? Do you think?
What if he is the stabber?
Yeah, that's a lot.
And he keeps accidentally killing people that
like
he
that-
thinks are villains, but then it's like he's like, I'm the maniac.
Yeah, it's
like
that
the
episode of
SpongeBob
SpongeBob. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm on patrol. I'm on patrol. He's my hero.
He's a he knows martial arts. He has a superhero kit. And he patrols the area. It is just so good. I mean, honestly, I don't know how it could get any better. Oh, here it is: a steel helmet, a bulletproof chest and back plate, shoulder pads, fanged
Bulletproof.
arm cuffs,
Yep.
so that he can catch himself on a downhill slide.
Oh my
Handcuffs,
gosh.
2 steels. These are those daggers I was telling you about. They're called
Sais?
Yeah,
Sais?
straps to his thighs, and then he has 2 katanas. They're right on his back. Oh my gosh,
Wow.
just so incredible. And here's
He's
what
my
I think.
hero.
Here's my theory.
Is this the answer to the defund the police people? Like, okay, remove like patrols, all police in San Diego we take out, and we just
Shadow
Fund.
Vision has
just
an
one
army of
Shadow Vision. No,
Yeah.
just the one guy. He's got to run around and do it all. We're gonna
Yeah, we
save so
fly
much
him
money.
Yeah. So I think,
Dude.
here's my thing. I feel like the police know who he is, and I think they're letting him do his thing
Whoa.
because.
Okay,
think
how
it's
is
like-
that not a threat though?
Do you think
know
it's a
what I
conspiracy?
mean? If a guy's out there with 2 katanas,
Here's what I think.
Or do you think he could be an
Little Rock's been
ex-cop?
through a lot. They lost 3 people. I mean, this. I think this serial stabbing thing is. I mean, it's obviously legit.
they need
right?
something to believe in.
So I think the police is like, let's let them laugh about this.
but is it laughing if he has 2 katanas?
Do you think he has a head count?
Like what do they do if he murders the stabber? Like what if he
Well,
follows through
and
with what he says?
Here's the other thing. There's been 2. He also, in a statement, has released that he's also exterminated 2 other murderers in Little Rock. So
he's-
8 years.
He's the
says,
equalizer.
in 8 years?
Oh my gosh. Wait, okay, isn't that bad?
He's the Punisher right there.
I don't know.
Isn't that bad?
I mean,
Why? There's 2
he
murderers
murdered
gone
people.
now. No, there's 2. There's
Yeah,
2
but
guys.
what separates him
look
from
right
the
here.
murderers?
I've stopped a couple of armed robberies and I've exterminated 2 serial killers.
What justifies his
What
murder?
does exterminating mean? Does exterminating mean calling the cops and then they just go to
Do
jail?
they catch and release mice? No.
Really?
They kill them.
Really? Do
Whoa.
they exterminate
So
criminals?
why isn't this guy arrested?
Can't figure out where he is, but
'Cause he's a hero.
No.
He's in the shadows.
Yeah, why is Shadow Vision not
I
arrested?
mean, he's obviously not in the shadows.
What
He's
the
like,
heck?
he
I
looks like
need
he's
to
at the
show
trolley
you-
station.
I need to
Oh
show
my
you his
gosh.
Facebook.
Wait, that's
by the way.
terrifying.
This is his Facebook.
I cannot condone the Shadow Vision.
This is a little bit of his live
Oh,
session today.
there he is.
Bro.
And he just kind of walks around like this. Not a whole lot.
He's patrolling.
He's patrolling, but he doesn't talk very much from what I understand.
Well, yeah.
You
Would
guys.
you? Does Batman?
He'd have to like
That's
change
not
his voice.
okay.
Oh, okay, Joker. Okay,
Ryan,
Riddler.
oh my gosh.
Oh, okay, Riddler.
Are you serious right now?
Well,
I'm
I
scared.
gotta
Wait.
admit, this profile picture though is pretty.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Tell me that's not the person you want defending your city.
Dude, what makes him my
oh
defender?
my God! I just found the Little Rock murderer
so
right here. It's the little rock stabber.
Listen,
This is him doing some
lower
community-
your
Shadow,
voice.
shadow vision.
This is
Lower
community
your
PR
voice.
right here. He's just, talking to
Wow.
the people, putting it out,
It's like,
I'm
found
genuinely
the
scared for
found the
Shadow Rock
stabber.
right now. Shadow Rock,
That's
Little
how he
Rock.
sounds.
Shadow Vision.
He has like a voice.
That was
changer.
for sure the guy from Star Wars. What's
Yeah,
his
that's
name?
pretty
it's
good.
Kylo Ren.
Adam
Yeah,
Driver.
Kylo Ren. Yep.
So the question is,
I'm looking for Little Rock Stabber.
I hate that.
the question is,
Can I get a small
what
iced
do you
coffee?
think? Well, you seem
No cream.
You seem pretty shook by it, Olivia.
Yeah, I'm shook to my core.
Wait a second. You're telling me you don't want
Shut- I
shadow
don't-
vision?
I don't know if you're joking or
Ryan,
if you're
I want you to
serious.
be serious about what you actually think about it.
I don't want him to be here.
You kind of like it, huh?
I kind of love it.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? He's out there. He's obviously like chaotic energy for sure.
First of all,
What kind of crime happens in Little Rock, Arkansas?
Apparently a stabber.
Wait, go
There's
ahead,
a
John.
stabber.
I have to tell you about this one helmet. So apparently he crashed his car a couple of years ago.
Okay.
So he was taking Cash App and Venmo to buy a new car. So he's been fundraising for a new car.
Oh.
And he talks about on his Facebook the kind of car he wants. I can't remember what it was.
Batmobile.
But
I'm saving up for it.
but this is what I don't understand. He literally tells them what kind of car he wants to buy because of all these things. But I'm like, once you buy the car, isn't that kind of a dead giveaway?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So the cops know who he is. Obviously, they could track him through
Yes.
Venmo. Like,
yes, that's what I'm saying.
Guaranteed.
I'm for sure think the cops know who he is, but they're going. Everyone's been through kind of a rough season.
What if he is a
Let's
cop?
just
I was gonna
laugh about
say,
it.
you know what? It's a like
Or an ex-cop.
cop that's like sick of the red tape. Isn't that always how it is? They like go rogue and like
I just love the Venmoing. And by the way, I was gonna fully donate to this,
Venmo me.
but he took all his stuff down. I guess he raised enough money. But I'm like, he got the car.
He's driving like a
and
Tesla.
He literally makes a post. He's like, thanks so much. I took my PayPal and everything down, and I was like, dead. I
so
wanted
just
so
look for the
bad to
Tesla with a
donate.
shadow vision
Dang.
logo on the front.
Oh,
Well, my thing
it's
is
like a
like,
question mark and
It's like
a
parked in front of his house.
diamond. Yeah.
there's no way, unless he lives like in the sticks. There's no way if he gets a car
In
or
Arkansas,
whatever,
that
he
they won't
does.
know where he is.
that they won't know where he is.
Okay, yeah, but regardless, he's a threat to society. Like you can't.
Well, here's my thing.
You
The
sound
police
very
probably can't
pro
do-
stabber right
Yeah,
now.
I know. You
I'm just
sound
gonna say
really
it.
pro
no,
stabber.
what separates that guy from the stabber? If he killed two people, isn't he also a stabber?
the moral
Okay.
dilemma.
Yeah, but
I
why
know,
is he
both.
stabbing?
Bro, why isn't he arrested and in jail?
protection.
Yo, what makes
Well,
him a
here's-
protector?
the
He's a
question is,
murderer.
Olivia, what do you arrest him for?
What if he's an
Murdering-
FBI
murdering
informant?
two
yeah,
people?
but there's no
Murdering a
proof.
murderer.
I mean, come on.
Wait,
proving-
what? There's no proof that he equalized two people?
Well, he can say that, but
That's true.
you're innocent until proven guilty. You have to have proof.
What if
But who's
what
to
if
say
he's
there's
an
not proof?
informant? What if he's an FBI
You
informant?
guys.
he wouldn't be an
They don't
informant.
even know who he is right
He's
now.
out
Informants
there
would not be dressed like
Okay,
superheroes.
I'm just gonna say this
Well,
once,
negative,
and everyone
negative.
hear me. Shadow vision is doing what we should all be
Bro,
doing right
I don't
now.
know if you're kidding
Take
or
up
if you're
arms.
serious.
Take up arms.
God, I'm so
Okay,
scared.
what we all should be doing right now is watching
Defend your community.
TikToks.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Listen, Shadow Vision.
I'm
if
hearing
you put up your
a
Venmo,
lot of flack
I
right now.
will donate.
Shadow Vision.
Um,
Wait, cut to my camera.
you
Cut to my
guys-
camera.
Cut to
Shadow
my
Vision.
Genuinely
You're my
scary.
hero. If you need
my
a little
God.
shadow, if you need
Wait.
what
If
can
you
my
were
name
his
be?
sidekick, yeah.
What would my
The
name be?
Mist.
No, it's Lil Shadow.
What? Little shadow.
Lil Shadow.
No. Okay. I'm gonna be. This is ready. The eclipse.
I don't
Shadow
like that
Vision in the
as much.
eclipse.
I feel
Okay,
like
well,
it's a
you're not a
separate
part of
thing.
the branding,
Okay, yeah,
so-
I
you're
have
right, you're right,
nunchuks.
Oh my god.
We're like the ninja
I want to
turtles.
I will design your costume.
Thank you.
For next
Yeah, that's
episode.
why I was waiting for you to say that. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
We must be out of time.
The eclipse.
That's all I'm
Kara
saying.
just cut the cord.
I'm looking
Heck
at the
yeah.
batteries and they're all going. Beep, beep, they're blinking.
Ryan and John.
You guys, I kind of phoned it in on the TikToks this week.
Is the audio ready to go?
Boo.
Yeah, it's ready. It's ready.
do it, let's
I've
do it.
learned. I've learned.
And she
Hasn't learned.
did not learn.
Who am I anymore?
I fully knew you didn't do that.
External headphones.
Don't look at me.
And you have to adjust the audio.
I did.
No.
Bro, I did.
One of these days, we're going to
I
get.
swear I did.
Okay, wow.
Don't look at me.
Don't look at
Yeah.
me.
Okay. Little rock stabber.
Little piggy with big ears.
It's
It's like that Geico commercial.
Babe.
You're so cute.
Bestie.
Little pig and a dog.
Pig and a dog. Pig and a dog. Pig and a doggy.
That's kind of long one, huh?
Look at the little guy. Yeah, they opened up like 3-minute TikToks on TikTok right now. So
Yikes.
Wow.
I can do less.
it actually goes for 2 more hours. So.
Yeah, this is a 3-hour
Settle
live stream. Live stream.
24 hours of what the podcast.
This little piggy is so
That's
cute.
coming up.
Yeah, we don't have to watch this whole thing, I think.
Thank
oh,
you.
that's it.
Wow.
Love it. Cute.
That was a
Good
cute one.
stuff.
I don't think you phoned it in. I think it was good.
Really?
So far, yeah.
Great job.
Thank you, John.
I hear, oh. I love
Okay.
these.
What?
You're so wrong.
Wait. About 7
It goes
seconds.
down.
Goes up. I'll bet you 30 cents.
30
cents?
cents.
35.
Okay. Told you! It goes up!
Are you done?
No.
Bro, I heard up. I heard
down.
up.
I heard down.
Play that part again.
Wait, you didn't hear?
I heard down.
Wait.
I've never heard down.
Let me hear
Let
it
me
both
turn it
times.
up a
Let me
little
hear it
bit.
both times.
Okay.
Wrong.
Wait.
It
About 7
goes
seconds.
down.
Goes up. I'll bet you 30 cents. 30 cents?
35.
Okay. Told you! It goes up!
Down.
Are you done? Are you
No,
deaf?
It's
down.
two
It's
different
going
tones.
down.
It's down.
It plays two different things.
I can't even hear down.
It goes do 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 do. It goes up and then down.
Yeah, it goes up
Yeah.
and then
No,
down.
it goes.
No.
Okay, you're a psycho.
Nope.
You're wrong.
Wait, how did you not hear that?
And to be
Down.
honest, it plays two different things.
What I love about you right now is your demeanor. You're like, how did you not hear that?
It's
It's not even
so.
a possibility.
Okay, one more
that
time,
you
one
heard
more
that.
time.
I can't hear the other options.
One more
go.
time.
35.
Okay. Told you! It goes up!
Do. Down.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Are you deaf? It's going down.
It's down.
Okay, wait. Can you slow
No.
this down?
No.
Duh. Can we just slow it down?
No.
Can I?
I don't
Is there a
think
speed?
so.
Oh, that's on like YouTube. You can
Yeah.
slow it down.
Okay.
We'll have to do some science.
Told you! It goes up!
It goes down. It fully
Are you
goes
done?
down at the end.
Wait, when she does it, don't you hear it?
No, because she's staying the same octave as that high note. It
That's what I
changes.
hear.
It's an octave.
I hear it way
An octave
differently.
goes down.
Leave in the comments
Yeah.
what you hear.
I'm so
Up or
curious.
down?
I heard up
Jake,
every
tell
time.
us
I
up
think
or
it's a
down?
dual tone thing.
Yeah, it's
It's-
an
I
So
think
octave.
you
that's
hear
what
that?
it
You
is.
hear it go up though,
I
don't
think,
you?
but it's
No.
like a dual tone thing.
But you don't hear it go up.
I hear it go
kind of
down.
do.
I hear down.
I think it's just a ringy, stupid machine.
Well, we'll
Go
see.
on.
All right. Ooh.
Okay, these are two of like
Okay.
travel-y.
We're back with At Italy.
Oh my gosh! Wow, they're a real big recurring act here.
Wow, these waves look
Wow.
rockety.
Hey,
Don't you just want to
boy.
like spend the night on one of those boats?
Not really.
Whoa.
They were really moving in that
heck?
water.
You said
So
it.
creepy.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
Foodie.
What, Italy again? Oh my gosh! I love this TikTok.
at Italy.
Oh, wow.
It does look
Beautiful place in
Is
the
that
world.
the Amalfi Coast?
Yeah.
Or is that Greece?
That's
episodes
Greece.
from
No,
Italy.
that's the Amalfi Coast.
Next
That's what I
summer.
thought.
Next
In
summer,
Italy.
we're in Italy for a couple weeks. We'll record from there.
Please.
Like on
Yep.
that patio. Could you imagine? Oh my
Oh
gosh!
my
Could you
God,
imagine?
I would die.
We would still only get like 10 views. We'd just be in
I think
Italy.
last week got like
We'd just be in
20.
Italy.
We hit like 30 literally on every episode.
Whoa.
Whatever.
The big times. Big time rush.
Big time rush.
I'm just waiting for it to catch fire. And
Yeah.
then it's to the moon.
To the moon.
To the moon.
For us.
Just like GameStop. Again this week. It's back up.
Oh my gosh! Let it go.
Yeah, really, let that go.
Gonna make some money off of games.
You've already lost so much money off of GameStop.
That's not true.
Oh my god, mom and dad are fighting again. Oh my god.
Well, I don't know. Form your own opinions. From all of us here at WTP. Wait, no, I messed it up.
Ryan, what?
No, say
That was
form your own
good.
opinions. That's good.
I don't know. Form your own opinions. We'll
We
see
love
you
you
next
guys.
week on
What the
Podcast. That's gonna be blown out.
What the podcast?